What are you doing?
Oh.
Mad as a box of frogs. Okay, part 3. I'm going to try and speed run this a bit now. I was a bit low energy in the last episode, so here we go. House of Wax, 1953. Vincent Price chewing the scenery. Yeah, I enjoyed that movie. House of Wax, the remake. Haven't seen it. Hush. Haven't seen it. I Am Legend. A lot of fans for this movie. It has some redeeming qualities, so I'm going to give it a D, but having read the book, it's absolutely nowhere near as good as the book, not by a long shot. The book's fantastic. I don't mind movies changing the source material, but yeah, every decision they made in this movie is for the worse. Every change they made. I believe Ridley Scott wants to have a shot at making it, and I really hope he does get to do it one day. Yeah, Vincent Price one is the best adaptation. I, Frankenstein, haven't seen it. Insidious, haven't seen it. I just checked out from James Wan after Dead Silence. Maybe it's worth a watch, I don't know. But I haven't seen it. Interview with the Vampire. Yeah, it's a long time since I saw it. I remember it being just fine. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. The remake. Philip Kaufman version. Yeah, it's a good movie. Good remake. Yeah, we've got the original coming up, but I think the ending of this one is much better, much darker. Yeah, speaking of remakes, quite looking forward to the Candyman remake. Really didn't think I'd be saying that, but it looks interesting. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Another one of those slasher movies that just no memorable kills in it at all. All you remember is the cast, because they were all huge at the time. Jack Frost. Yeah, complete fail. I mean, the only reason we're talking about this movie at all is because Shannon Elizabeth became famous after this movie, and then there's the scene that she's in that's really, yeah, problematic, let's say. Jaws. I mean, come on, it's Jaws. If I've got one criticism of this, spicy hot take, John Williams soundtrack, it's great. All his soundtracks are great. But it's, I mean, not just Spielberg is guilty of this. I think every director who works for John Williams is guilty of this. Too much music. There's a lot of scenes that could do without music, but it's like people just fall in love with it and they just put it all over the movie. And there's a couple of scenes in Jaws where I think, yeah, just cut the music, you really don't need it. Jeepers Creepers 2, haven't seen it. Jeepers Creepers, the first movie, I'm going to put that at a C. It's like, because it's 50% a good movie, I thought it started really strong, very tense opening. Then when they reveal the creature, the tension is just sapped out of the film. Haven't seen this. And just a warning, I'm going to well actually now, because this Jekyll is meant to be pronounced Jekyll, Jeek, rhyming with seek. It's hide and seek. Yeah, I haven't seen that version. Jennifer's Body. I like this movie a lot, and it's got a lot of stick. It was completely missold, this movie. It was sold to teenage boys because of Megan Fox, and it's much more in the tone of something like Mean Girls. If you watch Mean Girls and then watch this, it's like a horror movie version of that. It was a movie written and directed by women for women and got completely missold. But if you watch it with something like Mean Girls in the back of your mind, then it is a much, much better movie than it's been given credit for. Krampus, haven't seen it. Antichrist, Lars von Trier. He's a real mixed bag of a filmmaker. Dogville, I actually switched it off, and I very rarely switch movies off. Idiots was boring. Melancholia was really good. This one, hoo boy. Really good movie. Absolutely loved it. My favourite Lars von Trier by a country mile. I remember hearing that he was making a horror movie, and I was super excited for it because the guy is just a complete mentalist, and the idea of him making a horror movie was just, I was so up for it, and he did not disappoint. Great movie. Leprechaun. Haven't seen any of the Leprechaun movies. I remember the first one coming out and it got a 15 rating. Back then, virtually no horror movies got a 15 rating. They all got 18 ratings, so it just came across as being really tame, and I never bothered with it. I believe that they do get more gory as they go along, but yeah, I haven't seen any of them. Let Me In, American language remake. Yeah, can't be asked for that. I've seen the original. I'm not bothering with it. Little Shop of Horrors, I haven't seen it. Mama, haven't seen it. Masque of the Red Death, another one from when I was a cub. Yeah, I grew up on these Roger Corman, Edgar Allan Poe movies. Yeah, some of the first horror movies that I ever watched. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I don't know how well it'll hold up. But yeah, as a cub, I was really into these movies. Mimic, Guillermo del Toro. Another one I haven't seen in a long time, and I want to give it a rewatch. Yeah, I remember really enjoying it. Yeah, give it a B, probably like a B+ from memory. My Bloody Valentine, the original. I haven't seen the original. Mystery of the Wax Museum, 1933. This is the original House of Wax. The Vincent Price one was a remake of this. It's, Michael Curtiz directed it, who directed Casablanca. Stars Fay Wray from King Kong. And I haven't seen it. Nosferatu, the original silent one. And an absolute classic. Great movie, still creepy to this day. There's some shots in it are really creepy. Really well shot, effective use of shadows by one of the pioneers of cinema. Great movie. Occulus, I haven't seen this one. A lot of fans for it, but I haven't seen it. The Omen. Yeah, I like this movie a lot. You can view it as either a horror or a thriller. If you watch it with the view that there's nothing supernatural going on, it still works. The sequels leaned into the supernatural later on, and they were all pretty bad. But yeah, this one is much better than the sequels. The severed head scene isn't very good. The head looks a bit shit, but yeah, it's a good movie. Ouija. Yeah, that's the first one. I haven't seen the first one. Paranormal Activity. All of them. I believe there's another one coming out soon, but most of them I haven't seen. I've seen the first one. I saw this at the cinema, and this was a really good cinema experience for me. It was just one of those times when the entire audience are on board. There was lots of screaming, and it was like a group of kids behind me who were just screaming through the whole thing and reacting to every jump scare, and it was a lot of fun watching it in the cinema. I haven't seen it since. Obviously, I don't think watching it again at home you'd get the same effect, but I had fun when I was watching it. But yeah, I don't imagine it would hold up. Pet Sematary remake I haven't seen. The original I have seen. Yeah, there's some good moments in it. Yeah, Zelda's really creepy. Yeah, it has some problems, but it's got some good effective moments in it. Phantasm. Yeah, that's a good film. Probably a B+, A-. A little bit hamstrung by its budget, I think. But yeah, I like that film. Piranha. Haven't seen it. Used to have a pet piranha. There's a vegetarian piranha called a pacu. You didn't need to know that. Poltergeist. Yeah, this is another one of those baby's first horror movies. Yeah, it's fine. Predator. Yeah, it is a good film. It's got problems. There's some really hokey moments in it. Like, you can see when Carl Weathers gets his arm severed, you can see him holding his arm behind his back, and yeah, there's a couple of dodgy moments in it. I think a lot of it is saved by Shane Black. The rewrite he did on the script really brought it to life. Another spicy take. The Predator, the more recent one, didn't mind it. Didn't love it. Didn't hate it. You know, there's a hell of a lot of hate for the Predator out there, and yeah, I don't feel that strongly about it. What I like about it is this film, you can see the squad right at the beginning when they attack the rebels, and you can see how efficient they are, and then they just get annihilated by the Predator. So it shows how good a killer the Predator is, that you can take out this squad. What I liked about the Predator was that they're basically a bunch of incredibly inefficient and incompetent people, which have even less chance against the Predator than these guys, which I thought was an interesting idea. Didn't fully work, but yeah, I didn't mind the Predator at all. Prometheus. Oh boy. Yeah, another Ridley Scott. He's a great director, but another bad script with smart people doing dumb things. Yeah, it's an average movie. Has its moments. Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock. Legendary director. Not his best movie, I think. The last scene where Basil Exposition comes in is, yeah, it just doesn't need to be there. You know, it's one of those films where, you know, they try to make people with a mental health condition scary, and you know, it's called Psycho, and he's not a psychopath. Yeah, it's got its problems looking back on it, but obviously, yeah, it is a really good film. Really, you know, incredibly well directed. Some classic moments in horror in that movie, but not Alfred Hitchcock's best, in my opinion. And talking of mental health, one thing that bugs me is just the title that's reminded me. You see this in movies all the time, people confusing the word psychotic with psychopathic. They're not the same thing. Resident Evil. Yeah, I'm going to give that a D. I was looking forward to this movie. I remember when the trailer dropped and I thought the Red Queen looked really creepy. I thought it might be, I think he'd just done Event Horizon, which had its creepy moments, and I thought it might be quite good. But yeah, it's just the low rent action in this movie is pretty bad. I remember quite enjoying the third one. I thought it was more fun movie. Yeah, this was not good. And the reboot's just been announced, and I hope they go for more like the survival horror of the games with the reboot. Rosemary's Baby. Yeah, I think this deserves its classic status. Roman Polanski, we talked about Repulsion before. Yeah, this is another one a bit like The Omen, where certainly the first part of the movie, it can go either way. It could be supernatural, it could not be. Difference is at the end, it does decide to go unambiguously in one direction. And I think they took the right decision. I remember the first time I saw it kind of being a bit disappointed. Rewatched it, enjoyed it a lot more the second time. Yeah, I think this is an interesting companion piece with Repulsion thematically. But yeah, this is a great movie, I think. Scanners, mind-blowing movie. Yeah, it's a good film. I don't think it's Cronenberg's best. Gets a little bit slow in the middle, but yeah, it's a good movie.